What is good, guys? How is it going? Got some patch notes. Gonna be going over those in the stream. Let me get this set up here in this Discord, and then we'll get started. So I've briefly read the patch notes, not really gone into a whole lot of detail, but so far it looks pretty decent, not gonna lie. Kind of excited and honestly surprised. I mean, update 49 Zos did pretty decent. Update 50 is looking to be better, so I'm definitely excited. Very excited. Let me get this set up real quick. Good TNT, how you doing, man? I think we're good. We'll turn off the social stream chat because I'll probably upload this later to YouTube as a separate video. So that way we ain't gotta worry about that. All right, so here's the patch notes. PTS patch notes 12.0. So this is for update 50, and after the stream we're going to be testing some stuff, seeing what's going on, seeing what the hype is with werewolf, that sort of thing. The cool thing that definitely for PvE especially will be interesting is the opt-in difficulty system. You got the PvP veterancy. We'll get some more details on that so we can look at that. It's mostly just like a reward system, which is still great. I mean, PvPing and getting stuff would be awesome. And then the big thing, and I think this could be the most meta shifting thing, it's going to be your class mastery. So this, if you are a pure class, you're going to be able to get access to bonus passives to bridge the gap between subclassing, and we'll look at all those details here in a minute. So I'll scroll down here. So for those that are interested in the difficulty, I mean, you're also going to be able to get more gold and experience, so that's going to be pretty nice. Well, it's probably going to be significantly harder, so I'm definitely interested to see how that works. What's good, Divine? How you doing, man? Veterancy, it's mostly just like a Tamriel Tomes for Cyrodiil is how I can basically describe it. You get titles, you get maybe class skills, like different class, like, you know how they change the colors, that sort of thing. I think that's what's mostly what this is going to be, but also you get outfits, that sort of thing, so it won't be too terrible. That's something I'm concerned about is the Vengeance campaign. I'm not for 100% certain if this is going to replace Blackreach or not, so hopefully it doesn't, but we shall see. So this update, Vengeance campaign, is going to be available full-time. So like I said, hopefully it doesn't get rid of Blackreach. I would be devastated, because right now if you go to PvP and you are on a different alliance, like if you main red but you want to play a blue, you're gonna be stuck between you're not gonna be able to PvP in Greyhost because of the I guess the alliance locking of only being able to play a certain alliance, and then you're gonna have access to Vengeance, and that's gonna be pretty much it if they get rid of Blackreach. So I hope they don't. What's good, Kyle? As a reminder, this campaign has modified abilities, loadouts, uniques, perks, population cap, This change will be a 30-day campaign duration. Greyhost campaign will also be available. However, Ravenwatch, Ice Reach, and Black Reach will all be closed down. That's what I was concerned about. So that's not good, because then you have access to only Greyhost on your main, and if you want to play something else, you have to play Vengeance. And I mean, the whole reason why people really like ESO, I mean, at least how I do, and I would say most PvP players, it's the class, like you make your own build, right? So you play what you want with what sets that you want. And I would rather play in a Greyhost with the lag as it currently is than play in Vengeance. I mean, I've never really tried it before, so I'm going to give it a whirl this time around. But that's something I am very concerned about long term. And I don't think it's really a good look to, like, unless they were to make Greyhost non-alliance, like alliance locking. That would be the only thing. No, you're good. You're good, Kyle. You're good. We're all just hanging out, just looking at these patch notes. So, Class Mastery. This will be released as part of Season 0. Class Mastery is a new feature that grants access to powerful passives for characters that have mastered at least reach 50 in all 3 of their native skill lines and are not actively subclassing. Here we explain the rules and mechanics of these skill lines, while the actual passives will be listed in the combat section. So these skill lines will utilize class mastery points distinct from skill points. These are exclusively utilizing your class mastery and are unlocked automatically when you unlock class mastery. So when you hit 50 on all your skill lines. For the time being, you're limited to 2, which are both immediately granted. So if you use class mastery, you no longer get it. Each class has its own unique class mastery skills, augment and upgrade core experiences to specific classes. Each passive requires 1 class mastery point to learn, but can be respected at any time. Tamriel Tomes, don't really care about. I mean, it's pretty cool, don't get me wrong, but it's not really combat focused. Combat refresh, here's the werewolf. The werewolf skill line balance and visual refresh. A couple of highlights of overall changes are as follows. Find it easier to maintain werewolf form, which would be nice. New werewolf models, which from what I've seen, they look pretty decent, look pretty good. You get also 3 different types. Also changing the howl to being a gnash, so it's going to actually be a bite, which will be good. And then you can now crouch, so I wonder if you can go into semi-stealth or something, or I mean, it says detection here, so I wonder if you can like sniff out night blades. That'd be pretty dope. Pretty cool little feature there. Dragonite got some class skill styles, I guess you can call it. These skill quest line favors. Oh, here's some cool stuff. Guild mail, like some of the player improvements and stuff. Mages guild transmutation stations would be nice. Quest limit cap. AFK timers. Okay, let's keep going. So some of the skill icons aren't super up to date just yet, which is fine. All right, combat gameplay. Fixed an issue where light attacks could get you stuck in an ability queue when multiple light attacks. Nothing crazy. So pets have mitigation. I seen this earlier when I was looking through. So more mitigation on pets, which are fine. The following effects now update per tick instead of on area enter. That'd be pretty nice. Caltrops. All right, come on, let's get to it here. Where's the crazy changes? These really aren't anything crazy here. Class abilities, Lava Whip. So this morph no longer grants increased damage done after consuming all charges, as we have recontextualized the damage in the class mastery system. So that's fine. That's honestly okay. Core of Flame. Fix an issue where this ability in morphs could cause desyncs to your resources if repeatedly cast while active and while a cost per tick ability was active. These abilities will now begin to restore resources after 350 millisecond delay rather than instantaneously, which is not really a huge nerf. I mean, we'll have to see. I was actually running a stamina focused DK utilizing this skill like a lot for my stamina sustain, so I definitely want to see how that goes, and see if that's a very big deal or not. But nothing else really changed about it, which is very interesting to say the least. The resource, like Heart of Flame, Core of Flame carries Dragonite's resources, so if that didn't get nerfed, then I would be surprised about what other classes are getting in the future, because this is a very busted skill right now, just very strong. Like I said, carries your sustain. Okay, Sleet Storm. So here's some Warden changes. Northern Storm, this ultimate now grants 4% damage done per stack, up from 2%. This bonus decreases to 1% per stack while Battle Spirit's active. Oof. Oof. So then what's the point in that? But I do like that they are separating PvE and PvP. This is something we've been talking about for a long time. Balanced stuff for PvP, balanced stuff for PvE. It is two separate games technically. I mean, it really is. And so I like to see some of these really PvP focused, even if it's maybe not the direction that we'd like, sure, but at least that they're acknowledging. And I'm pretty certain the Warden is getting some more changes here as well. So Warden's current passives are highly generic and number focused while we work on the class refresh experience for the class. Expect these changes in tandem with the effort when it comes. Tundra's Maul. This passive upgrade to the chilled status effect to apply major brittle for 2 seconds upon application. That's strong. Walled Adaptation. This passive now increases your weapon and spell damage by 333 for each status effect your target has on them, up to 665. Note, this can also apply to friendly target. This is going to be the most busted one here. You're going to just have status effect Warden builds. I mean, that's insane. 1600 damage for class mastery. That's just nuts. Glacial Obstinance. Passive upgrades Bond of Nature to also trigger off activating Winter's Embrace abilities and causes the effect to grant you 15% weapon spell damage for 10 seconds if you're at full health after the heal, which that's pretty decent as well. This passive reduces your damage taken by 3% for every status effect on your attacker, up to a maximum of 15. I mean, so these two right here alone, status effect, are pretty gnarly. Nature's Bounty. This passive upgrades rank 2 of Nature's Gift to grant the healed target major heroism for 4.5 seconds and an additional 250 magic and stam. So these are my favorite right here. Wild Adaptation and the damage done and damage mitigation. ESO's in a good place. Really looks good moving forward. Yeah, I'm definitely excited. This is probably the best update. Hopefully this will be the best update in like years. I mean, ESO was, after update 35, it kind of died, if everybody's being honest. At least for me, it just really went into a bad place. Charge my mouse. Templar, Bastion of Light. This passive causes you to heal for 8% of your max health every second that Sacred Ground is active. If you are full health after the heal, you generate 2 ultimate while in combat. Sacred Ground will also be able to activate while you are inside the area of your Nova or Spear Shards, or while radial sweep or solar barrage is active. That's pretty interesting for like a max health build, but I don't know if that'll be, I don't know. Bow Guardian, this passive causes you to gain a damage shield for 6 seconds, up to once every 6 seconds while Sacred Ground is active. The shield absorbs up to 20% of your max health and grants health, magic, and stamina recovery while active. The shield breaks grant 10 ulti. So you just get a random damage shield? Well, that's not terrible either. Here's just a random bubble. So Bright Harbinger, this passive upgrades the rank 2 of Illuminate. This will be very strong. So get 600 weapon and spell damage. That's nuts. This passive grants rank 2 of Burning Light to increase your damage done with Templar abilities by 1250 or 625 against players for 3.1 seconds after activating. And then Steadfast Cadence, this passive increases the amount of damage you can block by 20% while stationary. So yeah, the best ones, at least for this one, is Judgment's Brand and Bastion of Light, honestly. Oh, excuse me, these two here. I don't know, I missed that one. 600 weapon and spell damage. That's still not even as good as this Warden 1600, because you can definitely get each status effect. You can get so many status effects, not even funny. So I mean, this is still gonna buff your heals, which will be fine. So Sork, this passive upgrades the rank 2 of Blood Magic to also activate off any ability with a cost, excluding cost per tick abilities, and to also restore 2% magic and stamina upon activation. That one looks pretty good. This passive upgrades rank 2 of Exploitation to also activate off of any sorcerer ability and grants you 1% weapon spell damage for every 1750 magic or stamina you have, whichever is higher, for 10 seconds. We'll have to really test these. These mostly are a little bit more peculiar and just like are tied to passives a lot. So Static Reverberation, this harkens to an ancient passive Implosion. This passive causes your damage attacks to have a 1% chance. For every 1% mythic health, the target has to trigger an additional shock. Oh wow, this is, so they're bringing back Implosion. I remember seeing that. This was very good back in the day. Very strong. And it looks pretty good here as well. This chance is further reduced for every permanent pet you have active. So if you have pets, you don't want to use that, is what I'm seeing. Wait, or am I reading that wrong? So the next one here is Calculated Defense. This passive causes you to gain a damage shield that absorbs 30% of your max health for 0.5 seconds anytime you begin to activate a sorcerer ability or an ability with a cast time. If the shield fails to break, you grant you and your members 3% weapon spell damage for 20 seconds. Yeah, a lot of these you really got the test. Like Sphere of Influence. This passive causes your damage shield abilities to grant an additional damage shield to the target for 3 seconds that absorb 50% of the max health as damage, scaling with 25% of the higher maximum magic or health. Targets also get extra recovery for 4 seconds. What's going to be meta next patch? Still DK or what? Not sure yet. We're just really getting into the class mastery passives. I'm sure DK will still be fine. They've not nerfed Heart of Flame, so I think DK is still going to be in a good spot. We really have to test the Sork ones because I'm not a Sork expert per se. Like I've really not played like a mag Sork with shields in forever. So a lot of these are really tied to passives and stuff or shields and whatnot. So really have to see how those are gonna shake up. So Nightblade, this passive, so Nocturnal Inspiration. So this passive upgrades rank 2 of hemorrhage to have an equal chance to your weapon critical to grant you 2 ultimate up to once every 3 seconds. That'll be interesting. This passive increases your weapon spell damage by up to 1250 and reduces your damage taken by up to 12% based on your current target's health. So you get more damage the lower they are, and then you take less damage the lower they are. Note this works for any effects that scale with weapon spell damage, meaning it can increase damage against low health enemies, increasing your healing against low health allies, including yourself, and reduces damage taken from low health enemies. What do they nerf on DK? It really wasn't even a nerf. I mean, I don't know for 100%, but it's the Heart of Flame. They change it to where you don't get the resources instantaneously. It's like a 350 millisecond like offset. So you hit the skill, and then 350 milliseconds you get your resources. So that starts your first tick. It's mainly to fix what they said was desynced attributes or desynced passives, that sort of thing. Above and beyond, this passive increases your critical damage and healing by 15%, 7% against players. It also increases your maximum potential critical damage and healing by 25%, meaning it adds to the normal cap from 125 to 150. This will be very, very crazy to just stack crit damage. That's also unique passive, so everybody on everybody's going to be a Khajiit Nightblade, even though they probably already were before. So if you were over crit cap previously, you can keep going with this passive. Evasive Trance. This passive causes you to dodge incoming attacks for 1/3 of a second when activating a Nightblade ability while blocking. Dodging any attack through any means causes your attacker to take 5% increased damage for 5 seconds. This one's going to be interesting for like a brawler blade, if those are even a thing anymore. This is kind of like old school shuffle, and it's also a guaranteed. So if you're blocking, you get just dodge incoming attacks. And then Share the Spoils. This passive upgrades from rank 2 of transfer to double the ultimate gen you gain on siphoning, while also granting the nearest 4 group members 250 magic and stamina on 1 ultimate. So the Nightblade ones here are going to be definitely the exploitation and the crit damage cap. And maybe this one here, but we'll have to look at it on PTS. Necromancer, Nothing Wasted. This passive upgrades rank 2 of corpse consumption to grant a stack of Nothing Wasted for 12 seconds. Every time you consume a corpse, up to 10 stacks max. Nothing Wasted increases your health, weapon and spell damage by 2% per stack. If the stacks reach their full duration, they instead lose 3 stacks and refresh rather than losing all stacks. Okay, that's pretty good. So you'll be able to get more health and then more spell damage. I think it'll be giving you like what, 20%? 20% health. Wow, 20% health. That's insane. That'll be pretty interesting. Malevolent Promise. This passive upgrades from rank 2 of corpse consumption to mark the closest non-player enemy to you with death touch for 6 seconds. Whenever you consume a corpse, which allows you to use a corpse consuming ability against them, this effect can occur once every 2 seconds. Okay, I still don't even understand what that even said. I guess I'll have to look on PTS. Cycle Unending. This passive upgrades rank 2 of reusable parts to also grant Lord of the Cycle for 25 seconds. Increase your damage down by 1% for every 1% more current health you have compared to your enemy. This bonus caps at 25% or 12% against players. That's pretty interesting. So if you have 75% current health, the enemy has 50, you gain 25% damage against them and 12% if you are a player. So the lower they get, that's an inherent bloodthirsty. That's pretty crazy. Pound of Flesh. This passive grants you 1% chance of taking damage to restore 10% and 5% of your missing stamina up to once every second. This chance increases by 1% for every missing health you have. So if you have 50% health, you would have a 51% chance to activate this passive when taking damage. That's pretty nutty as well. This passive activates when directly healing a target below 50%, which allows you to use a corpse consuming ability against them within 10 seconds. Consuming or replacing this effect grants the target 2 ultimate. Dragon Knight. Let's get the ones that actually make hopefully a little bit more sense, because a lot of these are really tied to skills and corpse mechanics and stuff. So they're a little kind of confusing to read on paper. You have to see how they work in action. All right, so Dragon Knight. Inexorable Descent. I probably butchered that. But this passive upgrades Landslide to also grant 1% potency to damage and healing done and damage shield per stack. Potency means to this bonus applies to the base calculations, causing it to become multiplicative with other bonuses. So getting Landslide, like I think that'd be like what, 20% more damage done, or he said multiplicative, so I guess we'll see. This passive upgrades from rank 2 of Storm Voice to also grant 1 health, magic, and stamina per ultimate spent for 10 seconds. Okay. This passive upgrades rank 2 of Storm Voice to also grant 1 health, magic, and stamina per ultimate spent for 10 seconds. So it's just like a continual regen then. So if you use like a 120 ult, so then you get 120 magic and stamina. We'll have to see how that goes. Wildfire Embers. This passive upgrades your Dragon Knight damage over time effects that apply to enemies. So like Searing Strike, Dragon Fire Breath, Burning Talons, and Shattered Mantle, to apply a unique 12-second damage over time effect on enemies when triggering the ability's end. The damage effect stacks up to 12 times, increases your damage per stack. That is insane. I'm already running a dot build on DK right now, and that looks pretty nutty. So the end is the case that means natural expiring, being recast early, or being cleansed. Oh my gosh. This passive upgrades your Dragon Knight damage over time effects that apply to enemies. To apply a unique 12-second damage over time effect on enemies whenever the triggering ability ends. This damage effect stacks up to 12 times, increasing by 25% per stack. Oh my god, that's nutty damage. That is nutty damage. That's crazy. So base damage is 10.5% of your base weapon spell damage and 1% of your max magic or stamina per tick. We'll have to test that one for sure. It looks good on paper. Resolute Defense. This passive increases the damage you can block by 6% every second you remain bracing, up to 30%. So your L2 block tanks are coming back. And then blocking has a chance to restore stamina. That's crazy. Lead from the front. This passive upgrades rank 2 of Storm Voice to also apply Major Berserk and Protection for 1 second per 15 ultimate spent to you and group members. That's crazy as well. That's freaking disgusting. Let's get Rage. So Dragon Knight ones, I'll have to test this Booming Voice. But this one looks good here. This one definitely looks good. And I mean, lead from the front is good as well. I mean, all of those are good. Arcanist, Abyssal Emergence. This passive upgrades your Arcanist abilities to immediately generate 3 crux upon activation, while also granting weapon spell damage for 15 seconds after activating. No, we're just about to get to the werewolf. We're just going through the class mastery passives. Fate Realigned. This passive upgrades rank 2 of Implacable Outcome to also generate 3 crux upon activation, granting weapon spell damage for 25 seconds. This effect can occur once every 15 seconds. I don't really know Arcanist too much, but those look pretty decent nonetheless. This passive grants rank 2 of Fated Fortune to also increase your damage done by 30% for 7 seconds. Awesome. Or 15% to players. That's crazy. This passive upgrades Fate Woven Armor to also grant you 1 ultimate and 300 magic and stamina whenever you take damage, increasing by 100 in magic and stamina per crux you have active up to once every 2 seconds. And then this final one here, this passive enables you to generate crux when you heal or overheal a total of 750,000 health while in combat. So that's good, I guess, for healers. All right, so here we are on the Werewolf. The Werewolf experience has been updated alongside the Combat Refresh Initiative, updating almost all of its combat effects in some capacity. At its core, we've made sweeping changes that should align towards making the transformation more fluid, easier to sustain and manage, and with more overall potential build, craft, and support. So added a new Prowl mechanic, which replaces Crouch while transformed. Prowl costs 5,000 stamina to activate and grants you 6 seconds of 66% reduced aggression. Enemies that will require you to be closer to them before they notice you to attack. And stealth detection. This is equal to the same strength as detection potion. There is a 3-second cooldown before activating Prowl to prevent excessive stamina loss. Prowl does not have a unique animation, but instead overrides your character's posture to begin sniffing around. This will blend out while attacking. Added a slaughter mechanic, which is a new synergy that is for PvE, like Blade of Woe and that sort of thing. So the ultimate and its morphs have been largely reworked in regards to how they function, cost, and manage. These ultimates now only require 100 ultimate to activate, but will continue to drain 100 ultimate every 1 second while they are active. Oh, wow. Failing to have 100 ultimate when the cost per tick occurs will forcibly deform you. The cost to maintain transformation is now completely disabled outside of combat to help mitigate the need to constantly engage in combat. Ultimate generation is no longer disabled while transformed, making it primary method for sustaining your form. So that's going to make running like ulti-gen actually semi-viable on Wolf now. That's going to be interesting. Completely rescripted. Dang, that's a ton of ulti. 100 ultimate every 10 seconds. That's a lot of ultimate. And that's just to stay in that form. So if you're not, I don't even know if that's even possible at base. All right, so completely rescripted the back end of the transformation, resulting in all werewolf effects and passives to only apply while transformed, and a college of dissertation level of data structuring changes rather than applying permanently and constantly checking if you're in a werewolf form. This should have no observable change in behavior unless called out otherwise in further sections, and is largely non-player facing and only aims to help cut down on combat calculation for werewolf characters. We save 15 whole effects, which is a new record. However, if you experience issues where you lose access to passives or other effects while in werewolf form, please let us know. The transforming into werewolf no longer increases your max stamina by 30%. Instead, all werewolf abilities that scale with magical or stamina will now be 30% more dense, and their scaling allowing for similar levels of combat power as before, without the added bonus of having a deeper resource pool. Reduce the poison damage taken while transformed. That's pretty nice. So werewolf stamina costing abilities, aside from the core combat mechanics such as block, bash, dodge, or prowl, now cost 1/3 of their ability category counterpart, rather than costing 25% more. This was done to help open more potential build opportunities for non-stamina damage dealers to utilize werewolf, while also adding to the sensation that this ultimate is a transformation that makes you more powerful in some capacity. The cost is now almost exclusively on maintaining the form, rather than the form and your normal resources, helping you simplify its combat loop and letting you focus while the beast is unleashed. Werewolf combat actions no longer see a 15% damage increase in their scaling. We'll cover this more in each ability, but fear not, werewolves are stronger than they were before in most cases, with some other adjustments. The unique bar that activates while in werewolf form has been reworked to house a new mechanic called Fury. Fury is a unique resource that generates from activating werewolf abilities while in combat. It soars up to 1,000, and each ability activate grants 15 at base. Fury does not decay, but leaving werewolf form will result in you losing all built up fury. Morphs and passives both can expedite the fury generated and can add more forms of generating. While you have 1,000 fury, your ultimate ability will be replaced with Rampage. Activating Rampage drains all fury and grants you a 20-second window of increased power, increasing your movement speed, damage done, and removes the cost of all werewolf abilities, including the transformation. That's nuts. Activating Rampage will temporarily disable your ability to activate the werewolf transformation again, to create the sensation of loss of control to this inner beast, as well as making it harder to accidentally activate and immediately lose the effect if you input the multiple button times and detransform. Werewolf light attacks no longer have their base damage capped at 4,813 like other light attacks, in efforts to help add more potential damage while transform. Whoever wrote the werewolf is sounds like they need to come off with a Ritalin. Yeah, dude. Somebody spent way too much time right there. Holy smokes. All right, Werewolf Berserker. This morph now grants major berserk while transformed. Updated the bleed of this morph to apply on light and heavy attacks rather than only light attacks. This bleed now appears to stack up to 5 times, and upon reaching 5 stacks, the 1-second delay will be removed, allowing you to deal much more consistent damage while stacking to a target. Stacks do not augment damage or duration. The bleed no longer fails to reapply if it is already active. Oh my goodness. Meaning the first few light attacks will result in damage decrease while drastically increasing beyond. Reducing the duration of bleed to 3 seconds down from 4. Reduce the damage scaling by 35% on the weapon spell damage and 16% on magic and stamina heavy attacks. Oh my goodness, this is getting a little heavy. Attacks in this form no longer create an area of effect in a cone around the target. This morph now also improves Devour, which will be explained in the passive section. So they did some stuff to light attacks on the Berserker Werewolf, and I guess the first few, it's just a lot of information to have to bounce back and forth between your head. So they're like, as you're lower in light attacks, you deal less damage, but it drastically increases as you get higher stacks. That's basically how I interpret that to be. Pack Leader. This morph now increases the amount of damage you can block by 30% and grants major protection while transformed, rather than a 10% unique damage reduction. It continues to spawn 2 dire wolves and grants you and nearby group members minor courage. This morph also improves Rampage to Enduring Rampage, which adds 4,000 health recovery to the base effects. Adjusted the attack speed of the dire wolves to have a more consistent pace rather than going in between erratically fast and slow attacks. Fix an issue where the damage of the dire wolves did not dynamically scale with your offensive stats. Fix an issue where the damage done was missing rank up progression built in, resulting in damage increase. Added minor variance to their attacks so they do not perfectly attack in unison, making them feel less like a hive mind entity and more like wolves fighting in a pack. Okay. Pounce and Carnage. So this is your gap closer. These abilities in the morph now dynamically update themselves based on your distance from the target, rather than requiring you to activate Pounce and then locking you into activating Carnage for 5 seconds after. I really didn't like that at all on live. Pounce is now only available when you are greater than 7 meters to a target, while Carnage takes over when you are 7 meters or closer to a target. Note that this will result in only Carnage displaying on your hotbar when you hover over it when you're outside the skill system, as you are in the context, out of the target. Your skill book will always display Pounce, reduce the cost of Pounce to the morphs to 1,000 from 4,000, or adjust the damage of Pounce to 0.63 of weapon spell damage and 0.78, and rather than 0.7875 and 0.75, reduce the cost of Carnage to 995. That's very cheap. I guess we'll have to test all these and see how it goes. Adjusted the damage per tick. Holy smokes. At least they're giving you some details. I mean, this is new. Like what their actual calculations are. That's pretty nuts. Increase the base duration to 12 seconds up from 10. So Brutal, Pounce, and Carnage. So increase the radius of these abilities to 7 meters up from 5. Brutal Carnage damage over time now stacks up to 3 times, increasing by 10 seconds per stack, rather than granting weapon spell damage. Feral Pounce now grants you 200 stamina each time either portion of the ability deals damage, rather than granting you 100 stamina and 1 second of werewolf timer. Whenever either version of this morph deals damage, it also triggers Fury generation, in addition to generating Fury generated for activating it. What's good, Shook? How you doing, man? This allows Feral Pounce to generate it twice per cast, and Feral Carnage to generate up to 3 times over its duration. Irisi's Bounty reduced the healing of this ability by 8%. Reduced the cost to 4320, down from 5737. This ability and Irisi's Rage now restore 10% of your stamina, increasing by 1% for every 1% of your current health you have, up to a maximum of 20% stam after the heal, rather than granting an arbitrary number if you were at full health. Irisi's Fortitude reduce the healing of this morph by approximately 19%. This morph now increases the stamina restored to 12% of your max stamina at base, increasing by 1% for every 1% current health you have, up to 24%. This morph now adds Major Vitality while slaughtered, rather than granting minor Fortitude and Endurance after activating. Irisi's Rage. This now heals based on your offensive stats rather than your max health. The healing is 17% weaker than a traditional burst heal, such as Rushed Ceremony. This morph now increases your damage done and taken for 12 to 15 seconds by up to 12% based on how high your current health percentage is, rather than applying major berserk and increasing your damage. That's annoying. Oh, I don't like damage taken and damage done. Okay, that's interesting. So if you were at full health while casting, hold on. Rather than applying major berserk and increase your damage taken by 10%, 10 to 7% for 10 seconds. If you're at full health while casting, this morph also generates double fury on activation and adds minor berserk while slotted. We're toning down how much raw healing this ability and its morphs can do, while simultaneously adding more purpose to the button press of resource management for tanks or in PvP encounters. Now, rather than being a binary heal versus restore, it will grant both and will reward you in similar situations, granting more resources while at higher health. Irisi's Fortitude sees a decrease in the initial healing, but gains the potential to be healed significantly more while in groups or using other effects and morphs, helping out tankier paths, while Irisi's Rage continue to focus on offensive nature, but with a healthier balance, as both the bonuses and the punishments degrade as you weaken, while also healing more effectively for damage dealers. I don't like the low health. Like, you get less resources the lower health you get. Kind of almost seems counterintuitive to me, but I guess we'll have to test it and see. So Roar, this ability and its morphs now have a 350 millisecond cast time before they apply their effects to help better line up their animations to their outcomes, fixing issues where you would be feared before even seeing an animation. Increase the radius to 10 meters up from 7. Reduce the cost. This ability and its morphs now also apply Blood Hunger for 30 seconds, stacking up to 4 times. Blood Hunger empowers Nash, previously Piercing Howl, and Claw of Fury, Claw of Anguish to deal additional damage. These abilities no longer apply Terrified, which is effectively an easier to use form of that mechanic, which more interplay within their kit. Okay. This ability and its morphs are now home of Feeding Frenzy synergy, rather than being placed on the Howl of Despair morph. Feeding Frenzy is granted up to 12 nearby allies for 10 seconds, increasing the radius of your roar. Feeding Frenzy now lasts 30 seconds, up from 20, increasing damage done by 6% instead of granting Empower. So that's good. Deafening Roar, this morph now applies Major Maim and Cowardice to enemies hit for 12 to 15 seconds, rather than Breach and Minor Maim. This passive slot for this morph now grants Major Evasion and Minor Protection, rather than just Major Protection, as this was moved to Pack Leader. Purchasing this morph will automatically upgrade your Nash and morphs. The rework of Piercing Howl to also taunt the enemy if the ability was cast while bracing, making taunting more deliberate and less dangerous compared to the previous slot passive of heavy attack into taunt. Ferocious War, this morph now applies Major Courage to you and nearby allies, allowing you to use your own synergy, and grants 2 stacks of Blood Hunger, rather than increasing the speed of your heavy attacks by 33%. So Piercing Howl, which is now Nash, this ability and morphs now have been completely reworked into a melee 7-meter driven double bite attack, rather than 10-meter projectile howl. The ability now scales with 0.525 of your weapon spell damage and 0.065 of your magic and stamina twice, rather than singular The initial hit deals physical damage, while the second hit deals bleed. Both attacks have a 10% chance of applying their respective status effects. The second hit happens after 4 seconds. after 0.4 seconds, excuse me, no cast time, so it will be an animation. So it can be animation canceled with no loss. And deals 200% more damage to targets under 25% health. If one or more stacks of Blood Hunger are active, the initial hit deals 25% bonus damage, and one stack is consumed. Reduce the cost of the ability as morphs to 765, down from 2869. Oh man, this is a long one. Howl of Agony is now your Bloody Gnash. This morph now adds 50% chance when benefiting from Blood Hunger to not consume a stack. This morph also upgrades the second hit to always apply hemorrhaging. This morph no longer increases damage done against off-balance targets or reduces its cost as it ranks up. So Howl of Despair is now Rip and Tear. This morph upgrades the first hit to always apply Sundered, as well as inflicts a major breach to the target for 12 to 15 seconds. The second hit heals you for of your max health. If it hits, the attack hits, Blood Hunger increases to the base hit and the healing effect of this morph. This morph no longer grants access to Feeding Frenzy, so that one looks pretty good as well. Infectious Claw. Oh man, this is hurting my head, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. This is definitely hurting my head. There's a lot to read. If you guys just are listening to this in stream or something, you're probably getting a little bit better treatment than I am. I'm fairly new to the game, and this is a lot of information to process. Can't tell this will even make Werewolf more viable in PvP. It's gonna come down to really just testing it, man. I have to just see how it feels, in all honesty, and just kind of cross-reference. So I'm just trying to get all the information so it's kind of like, you know, nestled in my brain, and then I can go while we're live on the PTS to like see like, oh hey, this is what this was talking about now, that sort of thing. That's what this is really for. It's a lot of information, and I feel like once we get a little bit more experience testing stuff on the PTS, it won't be so bad. So, Infectious Claws. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me turn on my fan. It's my computer is like a freaking furnace, so it like heats up my room so hot. All right, the Rending Claws. This ability and the Claws of Life morph have been adjusted to deal physical damage on their initial hit and deal bleed damage on their damage over time. Rather than dealing disease damage on both hits, reduce the initial hits weapon spell damage scaling by 20%. Increases max stamina scaling by 4%. The damage over time now lasts for 10 seconds, down from 20, which is good. It's going to be more bursty. Increases the weapon spell damage scaling by 92%. What? Okay, they increase the dot effect scaling, but reduce the initial damage. That's what that... Okay. I was getting confused there for a second. I was like, oh my god, what... This ability and its morphs now have a target cap of 6 rather than hitting all enemies. The initial hit now has 15% chance to apply Sundered, and the damage over time effect has a 5% to apply hemorrhaging rather than the initial hit applying disease, and the damage over time having a 1%. So Claw of Anguish. It is now a channeled attack that deals direct damage over 4.8 seconds, hitting up to 6 enemies closest to you in a 7-meter cone with a 90-degree arc up to 13 times. So Claw Fury generates Fury, so it's going to be just like your Dragonite Fire Breath, your Beam on Neck or Arcanist. So they're adding a lot of channels to stuff. So that'll be interesting. This probably be very. I mean, this has the potential to be very good, and like you don't even have to use anything else. So it has different scaling modifiers. Let's see here. Claw Fury generates Fury and a stack of Blood Hunger up to once every second while dealing damage. With the ability, it scales with weapon spell damage by this amount and increases by 25% for each stack of Blood Hunger. So you really need a stack of Blood Hunger, obviously. When Claw Fury ends in any capacity, all stacks of Blood Hunger are removed. Okay. Claws of Life, Blood Claws. This morph now heals you for 40% of the initial hit of the damage done, rather than not healing at all on the initial hit. The damage over time now heals you for 6.2% of your maximum health when damaging an enemy, rather than healing you for 66% of the damage done. Adjusted the rank progression to 1.1% of the initial hit. All right. Devour is now Insatiable Hunger. This energy now has a minor grace period for movement, allowing you to move slightly before and after activating it without causing the cast to be interrupted. Note that the grace period is not the same as the resurrection ability update that lets you move while casting it, and already exists to give a small amount of time to let your momentum end if you're casting it while moving. I forgot where I was. Increase the healing per tick by 20% of your max health up from 8, resulting in a 100% heal over the total duration up from 40, or 150% increase. Each tick now grants 15 ultimate rather than 3 seconds of werewolf timer. That's very good. Activating this energy will disable the cost to maintain werewolf transformation for 12 seconds, rather than disabling the cost of maintaining only while channeling it. This passive now also will trigger Fury generation each tick if you are a werewolf berserker, even if you're outside of combat. It's dinner, but I can only have a little bit because this was way too spicy, like a meatless jambalaya. What race and subclass do you all use for werewolf? I did a stream yesterday, or day before yesterday. I guess it was on Saturday. I was base Sork with the landslide Earthen Heart, and then Adric Spear is what I used. Those are my two subclass, and then I used whatever you call it, Oaken Soul Ring. So Purist is now Master of the Chase. This passive bonus to heavy attack resources sword now only occurs at rank 2, as it is largely irrelevant for most playstyles after the cost reduction changes and cuts down on performance. Blood Rage, this passive now increases the amount of fury you generate by 5 to 10 per source, rather than adding 3 to 5 seconds to your werewolf timer up to once every 6 seconds. Shadow of Blood Moon, just a simple name change that updates the name of displaying instead of the actual blood moon happening every week. Feral Cruelty, increase the amount of weapon and spell damage granted from this passive to 16 to 33%, up from 9 to 18. And then Call of the Pack, this passive now works by reducing the ultimate cost of maintaining werewolf form, rather reducing the timer drained every second. The percentages are the same as before and works identically. Oh man, is that all the werewolf stuff? So class mastery. So these scripts have been renamed to class flourish to avoid confusion with class mastery. It did not require you have class mastery activated. Warden the script now causes charmed enemies to walk to the center of the area rather than to follow the caster. This was done in an effort to try to mitigate frequency that this charm could force enemies through terrain. So that's really just saying that I could really do anything crazy. Updated the back end scripting of shield throws, knockback, signature combination effort to help mitigate the experience of desyncs in high latency conditions. New sets. All right, new gear. The Prowler's Talisman is a new kind of mythic that is available to everyone. It is not found in antiquities, rather you can acquire it by going through the new Thieves Guild storyline. It can be equipped at any level and its power increases as you complete associated content. While Battle Spirit is inactive, so this is just PvE focused. Okay, never mind. Current item sets, so class sets. So this set now increases your damage done by 10% rather than only damage done with the animal companion skills. Holy smokes. What does that say? It is right here. So Ares Cry gives damage, weapon to spell damage, weapon to spell damage. Dealing damage with a light attack applies Eagle Mark for 12 seconds. So increase the damage done with all damage by 10%. Light attack marks your target for 12 seconds. Eagle's Mark causes an eagle to attack your target every 3 seconds after 3 seconds, dealing physical damage per attack, implying Okay, that's single target though, right? I mean, it's definitely interesting. Etheric Lancer updated the damage proc from this set to be considered a class ability. This should help the set scale with a few more iterations, namely a few Templar specific ones. This weapon to spell damage from this now persists for 10 seconds, up from 6, to help improve its uptime in actual combat. That's good. Beacon of Oblivion adjusted the damage of the healing bonuses while no permanent pets are active, and Battle Spear is active to 7%, up from 5. Monomyth Storms increase the damage of this set by 37.5%. The set now grants 200 weapon spell damage for every monolith active. Power Brand updated this set to interact with Wildfire Embers, a new class master for DK, rather than based off generic damage over time effects. Decrease the damage of the damage over time by 31%. Decrease the damage of the area of effect proc by 26%. Heavy attacking now removes all 3 stacks of Wildfire on your Power or your Power Brand, rather than up to 3 damage over time effects. Adjusted the bonus damage to 25% per stack, up to 300% max. That looks pretty nice, pretty nasty. We'll have to test that. Soul Cleaver adjusted this set's 3-piece bonuses to give critical chance rather than max mag. This set's 5-piece bonus now increases the damage and healing and reduces the cost for your siphoning abilities by 15%, down from 21. That's a pretty big nerf. Draining Ultimate from this set now increases your damage done by 12% based on how high your current health is for 12 seconds. I've never really messed with Mag Blade effect, so. Spattering and Disjunction. This set now also increases your damage done with status effects by 40% while worn, and generates crux when this set activates. This set now stacks up to 30 times, down from 40, making it easier to get the maximum potency sooner. Increases the mag recovery per stack from 21 up from 12, helping offset the penalty of this set over the course of a fight while retaining the highs and lows of the sustain draw. Wrathstone at max stacks now increases the damage done of Templar skills by 25% or 10% against players, rather than damage done of Dawn Rat's abilities by 25%. Yorva's Guidance. This set's bonus duration is now properly reflected in tooltips. Savage Werewolf adjusted this set's 2-piece to critical chance rather than max stamina, and a 4-piece to weapon spell damage rather than stamina recovery. This set's 5-piece now also grants 6% damage done while in werewolf form. That'll be interesting. Mythic items. This set did not properly display slot passives of your ultimate. It overrided. Shattered Passing. This set's bonus damage done effect with status effects is now reduced based on the number of permanent pets you have active. The value is divided by 1 plus the number of permanent pets you have. So at 1 pet, it would be halved. At 2 pets, it would be reduced by 1/3, and so on. This is additive with player target reduction as well. Hide of the Werewolf. This set now triples ultimate generation while in werewolf form rather than 6. PvP sets. The following sets have received changes to their non-keystone bonuses, meaning their single stat lines like 2 to 4 pieces bonuses to better align with their keystone bonuses, as well as to improve overall hybridization where it fits. Wow, this is good. So 3 pieces of Affliction gives weapon and spell damage rather than max stamina. 4-piece gives penetration rather than stamina recovery. So this is going to make other sets, I mean, I shouldn't say like every set is going to be insane god tier, whatever, but it will definitely be better. Blunted Blades gives critical resistance rather than max stam. Coup de Grace gives offensive pin rather than recovery. Crest of Cyrodiil gives critical resistances. Dark Convergence gives weapon spell damage rather than max mag. Elfbane gives critical chance rather than max magicka, and updated tooltips to include Dragonite Standard. Farstrider gives critical resistance rather than stam. Galarian's Revenge gives crit resist rather than mag recovery. Hue and Sunder gives, that's a pretty decent buff there, offensive pin and damage. Impregnable gives critical resistance rather than max health, max mag, and stamina for both the 2 to 4 pieces. And then reduces the 5-piece down to give 986 crit resistance down from 1650 to account for the raw critical resistance increase. Indomitable Fury gives crit resistance rather than mag. Crit resistance for Night Slayer. Letï get critical resistance. Even though some of these were still, I mean, crit resistance is good, but sometimes I would rather have max stats. Sometimes. Light of Cyrodiil, crit chance, weapon and spell damage, and then the bonus now reduces the cost of any health magicka or stamina ability rather than only magic abilities. Morag Tong, Phoenix, Rallying Cry, critical resistance rather than max mag, weapon and spell damage rather than critical chance. Critical resistance now begins at 986 and loses 50% per target affected, rather than starting at 1650 and losing 83 per target affected. A Rallying Cry finally received some adjustments. I mean, I think this gives like 434 critical resistance, so I don't think it's actually like a huge nerf. And you probably would rather run Rallying Cry on From Bar now with this weapon spell damage. I don't remember what the 2-piece of Rallying Cry though gives. I think it's like crit chance, if I'm not mistaken. Transmutation gives critical resistance and healing done. This 5-piece, so that was a slight nerf for trans. Sentry gives critical resistance, shared pain. Crit resistance, 3-piece gives weapon and spell damage. Shield Breaker, critical chance, offensive pen. Fury gives that. Vicious Death gives weapon and spell damage. That's awesome. That's probably going to be really good for a lot of builds. That it? And that was a long one. What, an hour and 10 minutes? Woo. I'll keep this up regardless to get some ideas and look at stuff while we're on getting on the PTS. Just like see stats and whatnot. Let's see. There we go. Oh no, I did not type in password correctly. Okay. So I did make a warden. I'm gonna delete this character. I was expecting more warden stuff, honestly. So let's go EP orc. Let's go base orc. 600 CP. EP orc. Let's get on the PTS. I can't hear the game audio. Is it that quiet or that's what it was? There was no significant nerfs to DK now. All right. Let me do this here. The PTS. Travel to some houses. Let's see here. I don't understand why my passive things don't change. Look at the wolf. Oh man. That was like huge, dude. Look at that wolf. That's insane. My settings won't transfer over from live to PTS, so it's like all it's just I don't know how to get it to work. All right, let's check out the werewolf. That's what we're here for. Upgrades. Can we get the werewolf bite in here, or we gotta go to already have the skill in it? Wait, did I pick Dragonite? I guess it really doesn't matter. Said I didn't have it. I guess I'm gonna go get bit real quick. If I can. Get rid of this. Get rid of this trash. Don't need none of this. Let's get the Eyr0n months. That's what I used to use previously. Probably gonna put on what I exactly ran on live and go from there. Check out the class mastery here. So if you're a pure, I mean, that's gonna be pretty decent. Cause you can, will these actually work? You get the landslide passive on this. Activating ring 2 of Storm Voice also grants health, stamina, mac recovery up to once every 10 ultimate spent. Some of these could be really good for some of these could be good for like in werewolf form and stuff too. We'll have to figure out which one we want to do. Well, how do we get werewolf? You can't buy it in the crown store no more? Upgrades. Check other characters. Bruh. Guess I'll just go to like one of the shrines or something, right? I don't know where the shrines were, honestly. I think if I'm EP, I need to go here anyways. Good, Ghost, how you doing, man? All right, let me do this here. Get some upgrades rolling. Got to get the PTS set up. I have to do this every single time. What's good, man? Are we already max speed? You were trolling me yesterday? Let me get that Twitch chat back on. There we go. See your collections, mounts, horses, a random mount. They kind of barely touch Heart of Flame, but not quite. Where's the werewolf shrine at? Does anybody know? It's the new shrine. Maybe I should get on a different character and see where the shrine is, so I can just go to one. All right, Rift. Where was the one that I got bit at? Hey, am I insane? Oh. There it is. Hagfin. Spindle clutch. I know where that one's at. So on the new character. Travel over there. Wonder if we can preview this house or something. So there really wasn't any nerfs to DK. I mean, they adjusted Heart of Flame slightly, but not really a big deal. At least initially. I don't know for 100%. They adjusted please take me back outside. Hey. All right, I guess we're just gonna travel here then. Still is 15%, but it's just delayed. So instead of you getting the resources like right at the rip, you get it 350 milliseconds later, which is still plenty enough. Let me go ahead and put some like CP in here or something. Get some movement speed rolling. This is the only thing I really dislike about PTS. It's just getting everything set up again. That should help some. Gotta ride up here and get, unless there's a way, there's got to be a way to get bit in my inventory, like, or something. Or am I going insane? There's got to be a way just to get werewolf. Like, there it is. Okay, that's what I thought. I was about to flip out. All right. So gonna probably go with Berserker here. Toy around with this. Deals additional damage to other nearby enemies. Artist hits a cone. I guess we'll just try that one. I think the Hearsing's Rage are going to be too much damage taken. I'd rather just have this. So adds major cowardice to maim, converts the slot bonus, or blood hunger. I'll go ferocious, I guess. Check out the Nash, Rip and Tear, Bloody Nash. I think that one would probably be best. And then I think the Blood Claws was better. I wouldn't mind trying this one though, just for memes. All right. Got the Werewolf. So we're going to do, I mean, we could probably even just do like a regular Molten Whip, Core of Flame, Heart of Flame, Soul Flame. It still gives you plenty enough. I think that'll still be fine. Go that. We got Noxious. Settings, controls, combat, bar swap. I just killed a chicken. Go flames. Incinerate. We'll go whatever. Petrify. Then we'll go with wings. We got vigor back bar. All right, so now let's do class mastery. I'm curious on this one. Do we get access to Major Berserk? Definitely the landslide. And then Storm Voice. Just using an ultimate. There's that. I mean, that's worth it to shot. Gear wise, I was running on PTS, or no, PTS Live was, shoot, what was it? Wretched, but we may not even need Wretched now. I don't know. It's hard to say. Let me go get, we'll see real quick. Oh, we got Wolf now. Well, they changed that animation, didn't they? I gotta fix my camera speed. Holy smokes. I gotta figure out how to do that. I did it on live. I don't know. It didn't transfer over my settings or something. Dang, brother. That looks sick. Let's see what this does here. Just slaps the ground. Oh, this heavy tech looks sick too. Holy. And then this one here. We just jump. That's fear. I get with it. I get with it. Get with it. Can we easily get 100, like 100 ultimate? That's my thing. If we can get like 100 ultimate pretty easy, then we don't even have to worry about even stacking it. Trying to get any ult gen or anything. That looks sick. I'm not even gonna lie. All right. Let's get out of ulti. Go back in it. Nope. We got like 40 ulti. So we definitely probably need some ulti gen stuff. So what were the sets they... Okay, I have to change that. Controls, keybinds. Just toggle freaking... This is just annoying. Cursor. The set was a couple. Hire the werewolf triples your ulti gen. What's the other one? It's like light attack. I don't remember what the other set was. Shoot. I don't feel like... I mean, we'll probably just go ratchet. Just to... Actually, let me just get on my... Let me just get on my initial build. And then we can really see like what the baseline is. Let me do that first before I spend 25 minutes getting something set up. Probably we won't be able to stay in werewolf form though, will we? That's my fear, is just not being able to stay in werewolf form. Does anybody want to test some stuff with me? Where's Epic at? Let's see where Epic's at. Hello, friends. Hello, friends.
Oh, it's the real werewolf main Zilla. Yep.
It's I.
Dude, how far have you gotten with your testing?
I just got through the PTS stuff.
Oh. You want to
The
fight
notes.
me? Like right now?
I just traveled to your house.
Yeah, you want to fight me?
So how's the ulti gen?
You want to find out?
Do you have to farm it? Like, or do you have to run like a set for it?
No.
No?
Not at all. Go get on your Dragonite and fight me, please.
I'm on my... I'm over at your house.
I know. Werewolf v Werewolf Gaming. Your health is very high. I see that.
This is just...
Still, huh?
This is just what I was running on freaking live.
So I got a dot wolf too. But I also just spam one button and win all the time. Oh, and you found those claws too?
I did.
Yep. I just have cringe on. Like werewolf cringe. I'm just mashing one button over and over again, by the way.
Are you doing the Savage Werewolf Rip and Tear?
Yeah, I am, and I have Sheer Venom and Savage Werewolf. And I am pack leader as well, so I get the extra mitigation. So every time I mash it, not only am I getting an execute on you.
So which one is it?
It's Rip and Tear. Yeah, it's Rip and Tear. So I'm getting Major Breach, Minor Breach. I'm doing 2 ticks of damage. I'm doing both physical and bleed. I'm also execute scaling that. I'm healing. I'm applying Sheer Venom. And yeah, I can just block cast it and it costs nothing because I'm a sorcerer. And I have that one passive. So it's like I just block cast and one button and I win. And yeah.
So Rip and Tear. Oh, it heals you too. Wow, that's...
It heals you, yep. And then yep, you can put Sheer Venom on it since it's an execute.
I see.
That's why you need to get on your Dragonite. I want to see how like your Dragonite would feel to fight against just whatever this creature is.
You don't like this one?
It's good, dude. I got a 300k tooltip on it, which is ridiculous.
Oh my gosh!
And you could charge it. You could charge it up with 2 Fear Howls or something. Yeah, I got a 200,000 tooltip with it right now.
200k?
Yeah, 235k or something.
Is that where you get stacks of fury? Because I'm still like, yeah, I just got done with PTS.
You mean reading the patch notes?
Yes, that.
Yeah, so yeah, there's stacks of fury.
Okay, that heal is disgusting.
Which one? This one or the bite?
The bite heal.
It's absolutely obnoxious, and you can block cast it because it costs nothing. Remember how sustain was an issue with werewolf before?
It's not now.
Yeah, you don't even need to build for sustain anymore. You can wear 2 damage sets like I'm doing and be just fine. It's freaking stupid.
Let's see.
I also go into rampage mode, And if you, oh right, and then with Enduring Rampage with the White Wolf version, the pack leader, you get 4,000 health recovery while transformed as well. So
Yeah, pack leader will definitely look better on the notes.
it plays better than Berserk. Berserk isn't as good anymore. Oh, and lastly, sorry to spoil everything for you, but this is what I've tested. Blood Claws, the other morph of the Claw Fury. Yeah, so it heals for 6%. Hey, what the frick? It heals for 6% of your max health, right?
Claw Fury.
And that's
Where's that one?
That's on. It's the other morph of Claw Fury. It's
Blood Claws.
Yeah, so if you hit 6 targets with it, you're gonna be healing 6% of your max health every second on 6 target. Basically, you're getting about 40% of your max health restored every second.
So we rocking Deafening Roar or Ferocious?
The one that Ferocious.
Grants you an ally's major courage to give him more damage. Yeah. I don't think the Hircine's Rage is good. Increasing your damage taken.
Yeah, no, that's garbage. I ain't out here trying to take more damage.
Oh my gosh.
Mag-Sork v Mag-Sork, Mag-Sork.
Oh, bro, the White Wolf looks sick, dude. Holy.
I like Default Wolf. These two goobers Mag-Sorking it out with their damage shields.
So then you could use like Yondir's then, yeah? John Deere? No.
I tried it. I like the dot proc cringe.
So Savage Werewolf.
And Sheer Venom.
Why not do... Are you using Oaken Soul?
Well, when I'm going to be fighting other werewolves, my Sheer Venom's going to absolutely destroy you, especially in Execute, so...
Are you still using...
A bow, yeah.
No, not a bow. Are you used Oaken Soul still?
Yeah. Someone mentioned Shapeshifter's Chain, but it's just not as good.
Minor Berserk, Courage, Brutality.
Can you anonymously call Ninja a cute little princess, please? Why would I do that? I'm gonna give Ninja one guess. Who is that in chat?
My dad?
What in the daggone?
I don't even think you need... I mean, I could be wrong. But you get Brutality, Sorcery, and Vitality from Hircine's Fortitude. You get Savagery and Prophecy from Ferocious Roar.
Default Wolf. Default Wolf. Oh,
Wolf looks definitely fun, dude.
Dude, it's so brain dead. It's just like Dragonite. It's so easy. You just like do the one thing over and over and over again and win. Like,
So
our
I
health
just
bars are
spam
probably not
the
gonna
bite?
move. Yeah, or health bars are.
Oh my
not gonna move
gosh.
too much.
Freaking stamina not going down at all.
Yeah, it doesn't move either.
So you could just block.
Yeah, block cast it over and over and over again, and yep, win. But see, now if I do have a way to surprise you with burst now, though, which is good.
What's that?
I can charge up the spammable with the howls, and also I can go into big wolf mode too.
How do you do that?
You just activate your ultimate when it's ready. Remember where the old werewolf meter was at, the blue one? That blue bar is now your new charge, so whenever that's full, you can go into your ultimate. And did you not read the patch notes, or did you just be lazy and be like,
I did kind of.
Stamina. Need more stamina. This is the most like brain dead fight of all time. Like, guys, I'm on werewolf.
That looks so fun.
I'm on werewolf.
The healing on this is nuts, dude.
Yeah, this fight's
Yeah,
not
the-
really
In
moving too
combat.
much. And if I need stamina,
Yeah,
just
definitely the scaling like you're doing is the way to go. Like you literally lose no resources. They're gonna have to do something with that. It's like you.
yeah, and with the dots, I have a little bit more pressure than just max damage, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, I would think
Like
like
this, now
serpents,
everything's free.
serpents to stay and well, if light attacks can't proc.
Get it!
That's
It's so stupid. Yeah, so you can basically go full damage on Werewolf and be just fine. And that's probably what you're going to see a lot of people doing because, like, this fight's not really going to go anywhere. As long as you keep biting me back. We're just, like, eating each other alive and nothing's happening.
yeah. As long as I keep spamming that, we should be good.
Real.
No matter what build you're running.
Dangerous part is the execute scaling on it. Like, if you get low, it's hard to recover from that because it starts to really hit hard. Claws. More bleed. It's the same button over and over and over again. I'm bash canceling it. Oof.
Or thief
But
could be
yeah.
pretty good. I see.
That's obnoxious. Fear. Get him. There
Yeah,
it is.
that's execute.
Yeah, so that's why I said like sheer venom is good there too, because that gives me just enough to push you over the edge. Just enough.
So how do you proc blood hunger?
You gotta build it with. You can either build it with fear or I think the gap close or whatever. You can spam that.
Let's see.
Wait, this gives fury generation. Let's see.
Yeah, this is looking gnarly, dude.
This is why you need to get on Dragonite so we can really test and see how it goes.
Like which
This is-
Dragonite?
Your meta grease or whatever that you play right now.
You see my new
Zero
meta grease?
New meta grease. What do you mean?
It's good for BGs.
Whatever you got. I just want to see the strongest current class versus a werewolf refresh. See how that goes.
I think Marcelok might be pretty decent.
I don't know, man. If you even look at the patch notes, they encourage max stam scaling for your tooltips. That's how you make them big and large. So you can stay in werewolf form now? Yeah, I can walk around like this because the generation is disabled out of combat. So I can just walk around like this and be a werewolf forever. Well, at least out of combat. I'll probably still get a bounty when I go into a city, right? Yeah, everything I do is a criminal act. Just existing is a criminal act.
Do you
But yeah, you can like full role play as a furry now, so I guess there's that too. Seems
I
like
don't
a
see
short
how
right now.
I don't see how like werewolf is not gonna be stronger than DK.
Hey, make sure you put your class masteries in too, so you have a chance.
Yeah, I will try.
About this.
Do you have a station here for build like your build things, whatever?
Yeah, I got an armory. It's inside,
Inside.
in the front, or wherever you're at, and you see it in the corner over here. I can just go through doors as a werewolf. Use the Fury Claw against Zilla. I could, but I like the Healing Claw because it's 6% of my max health every second. It's just better.
I can't fight you.
The Claw Fury is fun though because that
GG.
tooltip is literally, it's
GG.
literally It's literally stronger than an ultimate. Like, it's stupid. I'll try it, though. I'll try it against him.
It's my oak force. But I just had it on my...
Y'all want to see this funny tooltip? Watch this.
Lagging too much.
232,000, 232K. Look at that.
No.
So it's bad in PvP. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend using Werewolf next patch. It's not very good.
Don't play Werewolf next patch.
Anime just said Werewolf was trash. Oh, really? Well, I mean, yeah, don't use it.
Where's your bank?
It's a little cat on a counter
Oh,
in the kitchen. See it?
I see now.
Boing. Boing. Yeah, Werewolf dead. Yeah, don't use Werewolf. It's bad. It's like really bad.
Horrible, actually.
It's horrendously bad. Like, so bad. Like, I wouldn't even bother using it. Like, honestly. It's like as bad as Dragonite is.
This looks not good.
About being more broken or busted than Dragonite. Dragonite's good because it does a lot of damage and doesn't require any thumbs to use. I think Werewolf requires even less thumbs to use and has very similar damage. So it might honestly, yeah, be better than Dragonite.
I think it is. That bite is disgusting.
We'll find out. Well, yeah, if you just build around the bite, you'll like never lose.
Gonna do that one.
Just jump as like a frog. Y'all want to see something funny? Watch this. We get real close. We go here. Look at this. Wait, I gotta. Alright, here we go.
Try this one out.
Looks a little weird because the top of the body is not exactly synced up with the bottom, so it looks very funny when you do this, and you like.
Got max CP epic now. Watch out.
Oh, I don't even have the champion points in this, do I? Oh, I do now. Okay. I was fighting Streak earlier. I didn't have champion points in. I have all offensive champion points in too, so pretty good. Scratch. I don't really know how I feel about the light attacks. I wish the light attacks would be a little bit more chunky looking.
They definitely just feel like a little...
They like you're just slapping them with pool noodles.
but they probably hurt.
Yeah, it's just like pool noodle arms. Like compared to the rest of the figure of the wolf, those arms are very thin. Like I expect more muscle.
Epic,
Yes.
can you please make a build video already? Werewolf one button skill build?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll do like a meme video like tomorrow or whatever. Be like, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Build, and today we're going to be playing Werewolf. Now I look a little different, but that's fine. There's currently a plague and an infection going around if you're a werewolf, like Lycanthropy 2.0, and well, actually that's part of the build. And then when you get Lycanthropy 2.0, this happens, and then you can press one button over and over again, and yep. Breakdown on the build. All right, you ready? You ready, Sire? Are you
I
ready?
guess so.
So,
Let's see which one's worse to deal with.
real quick, the font of power passive on Sork, I think, is broken. Doesn't work.
What do you mean?
The one that gives you 25% weapon damage and use the sorcerer ability. It's not giving me any weapon damage at all.
It's about to hurt. I'm 5 light.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about it. Honestly, I'm just gonna spam one button. Oh no, he stunned me. This is stupid. By the way, I want you to know, like, I'm not really even trying. I don't really know if I need to. You keep locking me down, though. Wait, oh, I forgot that's not the. Okay, we'll just do this then. Yeah. Bite. More bite. More bite. More bite. More bite. More bite. Okay, we'll try that just for you. Wait, no, I need to go into the other form for that to work. I love how DK is like the only thing to actually like put up a fight. No, I don't have enough time to do the channel claw against Zilla. He's got too much damage for me to just leave myself vulnerable like that. Here, boy. If I had the claws of the blood claws or whatever, I think I'd be a little bit better. Oh, dang!
Still king.
Nah, that doesn't
I'm
prove anything. Let
skipping.
me change the morph of my claw.
No, I
wait till I change the morph of Claw Fury. See what happens. Yeah, that's right.
Dragonite's still
That's pretty
daddy.
fun, but it's hard. It's hard to get it to use or like work properly. No, this should fix all the problems. This should fix everything.
Epic, can you
What do
can
you
you get this font of passive to work? Font power passive. You're on Sork, right?
Yeah.
Hold on
Yeah,
one second.
does it work for you?
Let me get
Not in werewolf form. No, you gotta cast
No,
like
but,
a
like-
sword skill.
Yeah, but can you try and just make it work just to see if it's bugged? Because it's not working at all for me.
Upgrades rank 2 of exploitation and work with any sorcerer ability.
It's just when you
and
cast an
increases
ability.
weapon and spell damage.
Yeah, it should just be as simple as cast an ability, get 25%.
Well, it does that. I'll look at it in a minute.
Yeah, because it's not working for me. at
Now
all.
I have Claw of Blood. Dragonite has like the one hard counter to this, and that's the fact that you can stun me. Oh, let me roll that. And now I actually like need to pay attention because he's an actual threat on that thing. Dang. Nope. I don't like the cast time on that skill. It's a little weird. Especially after block casting like literally everything. Oh, I rolled it. I rolled it. It wouldn't let me roll. What the frick? Dang, it wouldn't let me roll. That shield stacking sword is good against it too. Probably not. Zilla does have more utility, but I have more like one button press, like potential. I did die there because I couldn't actually roll dodge, so.
It's definitely good though. I think you need maybe at least one defensive.
Well, yeah,
I don't know.
against Dragonites. If I were to swap out, I know exactly how to do, like, have the advantage in this fight if I just fixed one thing on the build. All I need to do is put one flame resist on the jewelry instead. I can't break free.
Also, when you get low on Wolf is when it's really hard to come back.
Yeah, sorta. I still do insane damage for just what I'm doing with one button. Ew. 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 How did you hit me through dodge with that?
Wait for it.
Oh. You can't even see the dodge animation on Wolf. They don't have one. We go.
Maybe help if I left my weapon damage buff up. There's a 10k something.
I hit you for 10k something.
10k rip and tear execute.
Dang. I actually have to think to fight you. So DK is the only thing I feel like would pose a threat to a werewolf right now. Like, I actually have to use my brain to fight a DK, but we're, like, pretty evenly matched, funnily enough.
I've noticed some
I just-
sound skills aren't working, like glitch. It's
Yeah,
just
they
not
changed
working.
a lot of weird, like, animation stuff. I can't explain it.
Me right now trying to have fun in the game.
Bang, son. Yeah, that executes incredibly scary.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell we're like both focused. We want to push these to the limit. All right, Dragonite, do your magic. Or sorry, Werewolf, do your magic. Infinite stamina.
You really dodge roll forever like that?
Yeah, I just spam dodge roll. Because my stamina was at like full the entire time. It still was. It's funny. He's trying to mix it up. He's trying to mix it up. I see it. Oh no, he's doing it again. Oh. Hey. If I could just roll cancel that and get a, like a little chip bite in between for more health. Not bad. Oh, let me go.
I let other
When's
people build builds.
Hey, Street, give me another shot at change gear.
What?
Ah,
give me
wait, that was
another
decent.
fight here. I change some gear.
Yeah, but over here
Okay.
it's more easier.
Ah shit, changed the wrong alt. Alright, whatever.
It's just one button. It's literally just one button. That's so stupid. Saving for a corrosive, I can feel it. Oh, one button warrior. One button warrior, it's not working. Why is it not healing me? Ah. Just roll dodge spam and mash the heal. Roll dodge spam and mash the heal. I use the synergy I did. Heavy attack. Why did I go for a heavy attack? I couldn't break free either. Dang it. Friggin' CC break bug. Yeah, so it's at the point where it's like whoever lags out first loses.
That werewolf got a lot of
It's nice- It's nice to see like it can compete. It's just DK has a lot more options to deal with a werewolf than a werewolf has to deal with a DK. But werewolf is like more brain dead than Dragonite. Like I just mashed the button over and over again.
Be able to test more tomorrow though. I'll probably have to hop off for the night. I'll be able to test more in the weekend. Let me know what you come up with, and we'll get. I definitely got to just fight. We need to just like BGs or something. We all need to like do up or something.
Make a community post, and I'll make one, and maybe like say Saturday we'll do like werewolf BGs.
Yeah, like just because that's where we're gonna be able to get a whole lot of testing done, and
yeah, real field experience.
Yeah, we'll probably do that. I would like to do I would like to do like Marsalok or something on. I don't think you need Oaken Soul, but how many buffs you get now? Wolf.
You might be right. To be fair.
Because you could.
Also, Valorg works in werewolf form, by the way.
That's pretty nutty now.
Yeah. So the werewolf monster mask works in werewolf form. Look at this. Look at this.
We'll have to see what best like class is for werewolf,
Sorcerer.
like full Sork, pure Sork,
because you get not only that sustain one with whatever it is.
cost reduction on block.
Yeah, you get conservation of energy, which basically makes everything you do free on werewolf, and then you get static reverberation, which is implosion, so you get extra damage.
So you're pure Sork
Yeah, pure sword.
or Nightblade for that crit and that damage so they get as they get lower. Or size effects
I think it
on.
revolves around still needing to use skills.
Can you
I
proc?
wouldn't mind making a status effect wolf.
Yeah, run Shattered Path, sing it, and just don't use ulti.
Oh yeah,
Well, no, you would still get drained on it.
it would hurt. Yeah, because it would still be pretty easy to sustain. I think, as long as you're dealing damage.
Like my shield streak.
Yeah.
Oh, let me show you. Oh, did you see that note about the get rid of Blackreach?
Yeah, I did.
That
I
sucks,
don't know how I
dude.
feel about that.
I don't know how I feel about that either. That's not good.
Hopefully it makes everyone like their refuge becomes Imperial City. I don't know though.
I don't think so.
That's like the most wishful part of it. Like, oh, I hope they do the Imperial City instead.
Here, I'll show you Landslide real quick, then I'm gonna hop off. So Landslide increases your potency of your damage done, healing done, and damage shield strength by 1% per stack. So you get 20% more damage done.
What'd you say, Ninja?
I don't like Yondir. I just tried it. Don't like it.
You wanna deal with pain?
Yeah, sure. Hold on.
You guys, if you guys are at my stream, go check out Epic. I think he's gonna be streaming for the rest of the night.
What makes you say that, man?
I think you're gonna be staying up.
What makes you say that, man?
I just know you, man.
All right, yeah, whatever.
Have a good night.
I'll take care of him.
Take
Good night,
care.
man. Be safe.
See ya.
See you.